The Seahawks win. What a performance tonight as they take down the New York Giants 24-3 in dominating fashion in about every way you could think of. Defensively, offensively, special teams. The Seahawks did everything right and inserted their will. And now they're 3-1, heading into the bye week. A lot of optimism about where the Seattle Seahawks team stands right now. Welcome in to the channel. Tyler Jones here with a complete look back at the Seahawks performance. Geno Smith started the game, got hurt. We saw a little bit of Drew Lock, led a touchdown drive. Drew Lock played well. Geno comes back in the game, and he had a really good night. 13 of 20, 110 yards, one touchdown, no picks. Kenneth Walker on the ground led the Seahawks in rushing. 17 carries, 79 yards, and a touchdown score. Noah Fant with a breakout performance. Had a huge catch courtesy of a pass from Drew Lock. Almost scored a touchdown. He had two catches for 63 yards. The Seahawks really just shut Daniel Jones down. It was one of the worst nights of Daniel Jones' career. 203 yards passing, two interceptions. Matt Breida filled in for Saquon Barkley, but he didn't look anything like Saquon Barkley. He was held to 30 yards rushing in the performance. And the Seahawks get the win 24-3. And this team at 3-1, the injuries are piling up, and we'll get to those here in just a second. But I got to tell you, after the way the Seahawks started the season, getting handed that brutal loss to the Los Angeles Rams at home, this team was lacking optimism about where they would go from here. Now they've rattled off 3 straight wins, 2 of them against pretty decent teams in the Giants and the Lions. They have to feel good. The injury front tonight, Jarran Reed had a shin injury. Damien Lewis with an ankle injury. Jamal Adams. A lot was made about Jamal making his return to the Seahawks tonight. 4 plays in. Took a knee to the head from Daniel Jones, and he's in concussion protocol. Ended up leaving the game. We'll continue to see what his status is, but the injuries continue to stack up for the Seahawks there. So that's where the injuries stand right now. We'll see where things are, but at least on the injury front, the good news is that Geno Smith did come back and finish this game ultimately. They pulled him out a second time because the win, they were leading by so much they didn't want to risk any further injury and went with Drew Lock there. Folks, no better way to celebrate a Seahawks win than subbing for Dubs here on Seahawks Today. We're trying to get to 42,000 subscribers, less than 400 subs away from getting that milestone. If you had a great time tonight celebrating that Seahawks win, you got to subscribe to the channel. Daily Seattle Seahawks news and rumors. We're doing live shows. We'll be live on Wednesday afternoon. Mailbag segments and more. And we'll be with you all season long. So go ahead and sub for Dubs. Subscribe to the channel for the latest happenings on your Seattle Seahawks. We got you covered here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe for free right now. You'll be glad you did. Now, let's go over these statistics from Seattle's win. Let's start with Geno Smith. 13 of 20, 110 yards, a touchdown, no picks. Geno played very well. And I like the way that he responded when he was taken out of the game from injury, comes back in, and Geno looked like he didn't miss a beat, like he didn't leave the game at all. To me, spoke a lot about Geno Smith. And think about this, okay? Remember a year ago, Geno Smith and Drew Lock were in a quarterback competition. Geno ultimately won the job. He hasn't given it back since. This was the first night we've ever seen Drew Lock play in a regular season game for Seattle. And even with Drew Lock holding his own, that didn't shake up Geno Smith at all. Geno still came out and still played well when he came back from injury. Geno Smith, he is him. Seahawks fans, you're very lucky that Geno Smith is your quarterback. Kenneth Walker rushed the ball very well. 17 carries, a touchdown, 31-yard long. The run game for the Seahawks team was very dynamic. They had 121 yards on the ground as a whole. Zach Charbonnet also had 31 yards. The run game is coming along. It got off to a slow start to this season, but now the last couple of weeks, we're seeing this group finally emerge. And we know what Pete Carroll and Shane Waldron want to do with this offense. They want to run the football, establish the run to open up the passing game. They're getting that out of this group to this point. I've been very impressed with them as far as that goes. Seahawks win 24-3. Kenneth Walker with a big day. The run game was fantastic. The Seahawks get the job done there. A couple other things that I want to point out here on our postgame show that stood out to me. And for me, that you got to talk about the defense, right? Daniel Jones had one of the worst games of his career as he was sacked a total of 10 times. Paris Campbell got sacked once as well. And so the Seahawks defense delivered 11 sacks. That ties a franchise record. It was a Monday Night Football record. The Seahawks defense was incredible. And think about this when we talk about the Seahawks defense, okay? What did we say the last few weeks with this group? That they had really struggled with getting pressure on the quarterback, getting those sacks what they needed to. The pass rush was lacking. Tonight was a breakthrough night for that pass rush. Let me go over these sacks for you. Bobby Wagner had 2. Julian Love had 1. Jordan Brooks had 1. Devon Witherspoon had 2. He came across to the blind side, those blind side blitzes. Devon Witherspoon was unbelievable and showed why he was the number 5 pick in the draft tonight. Uchenna Nwosu had 2. You paid Uchenna Nwosu a lot of money. Tonight he showed why he earned that money. Miles Adams had 1. Mario Edwards had 1. Boye Mafe had 1. This group was unbelievable at getting to the quarterback. It was a historic performance. I want to know your one-word reaction because my one-word reaction is historic. That's what I saw from the Seahawks tonight. An historic night that we're going to remember for a long time. We're going to sit here and one day we're going to tell our grandkids, do you remember the historic night the Seahawks had when they beat the Giants 24-3 in MetLife, had 11 sacks. They went to 3-1 heading into the bye week. That's what the Seahawks did tonight. And a historic night fueled by the defense and basically eliminated the Giants. The Giants are pretty much done from here at this point. Some other statistics to get to before we wrap up our postgame. DK, solid day with his performance. 3 catches, 31 yards, a touchdown. Noah Fant, we mentioned earlier, with a breakout game. 2 catches, 63 yards. Tyler Lockett at 4 catches, 54 yards. The receivers did what was asked of them. I liked what I saw from this receiving core. We even saw JSN. I know that the numbers aren't great. 3 catches, 5 yards. But they were at least trying to work JSN into the offense. And I think his day is eventually going to come where we see him take that step in the right direction. But I got to tell you, I loved what I saw from the offense. Defense was good. This was a complete team win for Seattle. Today's show is sponsored by BetUS, the exclusive sportsbook partner of Chat Sports. If you go to chatsports.com/bet, enter the promo code Seahawks125, you will get a 125% deposit bonus. Put $100 down. You get $125 to spend for free at chatsports.com/bet. You can bet on your Seahawks all season long, as well as other NFL action. Chatsports.com/bet is the place to go. Promo code Seahawks125 to get your bets in today. All right. So we asked you earlier, your one-word reaction. My one word was historic for describing this. Now I want to ask you this. Who was the MVP for the Seahawks? There's a lot of different answers you can go with this. Bobby had 17 tackles tonight and 2 sacks. He's a good answer for MVP. I mean, you could point to Kenneth Walker with the game he showed. And you could point to Devon Witherspoon with the game he showed. Who was the MVP for Seattle against the New York Giants? Give me one name. Tell me in the comments section who that MVP was, and let us know who you believe in the comments section below. Now let's talk about Daniel Jones here. Daniel Jones, 27 of 34, 203 yards, 2 interceptions. Not only did the Seahawks dominate Daniel Jones, but tonight they showed that Daniel Jones is not a starting quarterback in this league. To me, they pretty much ended Daniel Jones' career as a starting quarterback in this league. The Giants, their season's over now. They fall to 1-3. They're out of the playoff picture. The Seahawks ended it for Daniel Jones tonight. Now the Giants are going to be looking for another quarterback next year. That's what the Seahawks did tonight. It was incredible. Great win, 24-3. Subscribe to the channel for more Seahawks coverage. We're talking Seahawks each and every day. We had a hell of a time at our watch party here on the channel on Monday night. And we're going to be doing watch parties all season long. So if you missed out on Monday night's watch party, don't worry. There's more watch parties ahead. Subscribe now for more Seahawks coverage, and we'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today.